Okay, it's raining now, so gives us an opportunity to talk. You see that even though it's raining, there's no flooding, there's no water rushing over the highway, even though I don't see any drainage system down there. Even though this is a steep decline, you don't see water running off. I'm talking about this because throughout history, humanity has been plagued with either droughts or floods. And it is presumed that there's nothing that you can do about it. You know, the old joke, like everybody complains about the weather, but nobody does anything about it. So it's presumed that humans have no control over the laws of nature. However, our prophets do speak about making all kinds of changes in the weather, stopping the sun, all kinds of things. And they weren't speaking figuratively. They were actually able to do these things because they were learning Torah correctly. When the rabbis rejected the authority of the prophets and the judges and went off half-cocked on their own, they had no one to be able to guide them in how to direct the phenomena of nature. And they became wholly engulfed in their world, just exactly the way Gentiles are. And so it was until recent times. It began to happen that when I was learning about various phenomena, they would occur. Now, when that first began to happen, I probably didn't even notice it. I was probably so engrossed in my learning that I didn't even realize that I was learning about the rain. It had begun to rain. But as time went on and it began to happen again and again, I did begin to notice. And my first reaction to it was to kind of laugh it off and say, oh, that's ridiculous. And then it would happen again. And I would say, okay, it's a coincidence. And it was happening more and more. And I was saying to myself, you know, Doreen, there are psychological disorders of people that think that because they think things that they happen. So for years, I wouldn't accept this. But then it became more irrational to deny it and ignore it than to accept it. And these abilities began to grow. And it became painfully clear to me that the rabbis weren't teaching correctly. And I learned more and more, and it became such that I was seeing all kinds of changes in the natural world. And then I would go on the internet and NASA would report this, or the meteorological various associations would report that. Geological changes would occur. And I suddenly realized that not only was I perceiving these things, but they were happening outside of my immediate range of perception too, and they were being picked up by people's equipment, so it was really real. So what I'm trying to say is that with the return of the Jews to Israel, HaShem is also extending us the return to being able to learn Torah correctly, such that Israel is no longer subject to natural law, but rather are the ones who describe natural law. And my wholehearted invitation and request, and hope that it will be received, suggestion to the Jews is to return to Israel with an open mind. I'm not asking people to just drop doing Torah the way they've been doing it for generations, because we all have to do the mitzvot on the level that we understand them. But to be open to the understanding that understanding the mitzvot is an infinite continuum, and you get higher and higher in the ability to be able to create worlds. And this information is not given to those who are not able to do it. So if you're going to screw up, you're not shown how to do it. You don't develop the ability. If our ancestors see that one really does have the moral constitution to be able to handle that, then they are guided in their learning to be able to, in fact, what's called la'asot hamitzvot, which is the same. Hamitzvot is 541, which is Israel. So la'asot hamitzvot, to do the mitzvot, is actually also to make Israel. The correct way of learning Torah is the translation of what is written into actuality. Thank you for listening.